I keep hearing all this stuff about beta male and alpha male. I've thought about it a lot, and I've always wondered what kind of description is that for a human being? Isn't that for like the animal kingdom? But you know what I think about? I think society keep moving the goalposts. Yeah, they keep moving the pussy posts. So you can never quite add up. You can never quite reach or accomplish your goal. You can never quite reach the post. You know why? Because they don't want you to reach the post. They don't want you to be happy. That's the bottom line. Society don't want you to be happy because they don't. If you're happy, then you're no good to them. Because if you're happy, you're going to be healthy. And if you're going to be healthy, you're not going to be going to the doctor. So that the doctor can sell you drugs to kill your ass. Because that's what they want you to do in the first place, to die. And if you're not dead, then your wife not going to be able to get that money so she can go shop and keep this fucking machine going. This evil machine that just suck the life out of you. That's what this is all about. Beta, alpha, bullshit. I hear the wife now. You're just taking too long to die. I've invested so many months in this relationship. Why don't you just put a gun to your head and blow your brains out? It's just taking too long. You see, I get the whole Greek understanding. The alpha and the omega and all of that stuff, but the intent here is different. The intent here is to degrade and diminish the human image to the level of animals. That's really what they mean when they say alpha. Really what they mean is, are you a dog? Are you a wolf? Are you a lion? Are you animal enough to just chew off what you want? Just take it. What is the alpha? What is the beta? Let me say, human beings can think through complex stuff. They can navigate through complex problems. That's what makes us human. We design tools and machines to work for us. So the whole idea of alpha is actually stupid. I think women came up with that whole term they came up with that whole idea to shift the goalposts. So you can never really quite add up. You have to be an alpha or a beta. The fuck is that? Okay, how about if you want me to be an alpha? If you want an alpha, how about if I just come and shit in your doorstep? That's what dogs do. Or the next time we go out, you just carry one of the little doggy bags that you have over your hand. And whenever I get the urge, I just shit in the sidewalk and you clean it up. I'll be an alpha then? Shit on your doorstep, mark my territory. Yeah, leave a big pile in front of her door to drive the other alphas away. But for instance, knight in shining armor is the picture you'll have of an alpha male, So in your big horse in your shiny armor looking all alpha, smelling like shit. Your neighbor John here, one-leg John, can't wait for you to head off to war so he can fuck your wife. So now, is he alpha by default? Well, what about the king that you're heading off to fight for? Is he alpha? Oh, no, he's not alpha. See, politicians never alpha. They're just underhanded, sneaky sons of bitches. So, but you're fighting for him. So, what does that make him? Alpha of alphas? Which one of you guys are alpha? You might not even make it back from the war. You see the whole bullshit description? I want an alpha male. Get the fuck out of here. Just want you know what women want men to do? They just want you to work yourself to death. That's what they want you to do. And if you're not doing it, they're pissed off and they have to always shift the goalposts to come out with some vague description that doesn't even match what a human being is. I've known guys who are quiet, soft-spoken. But you know something? They would rip your fucking head off and shit down your throat. You know? You fuck with them, they fuck you up so bad, you be running on the street at sonic speed like the Flash, trying to fart out that boot that is stuck up your asshole. So you see, the whole alpha male, alpha female idea is bullshit. Human beings can move faster than any animal. Yes, we can, because we can build machines to do that. We can fly higher than any animals because we can build a machine to do that. We can dive deeper than any animal. Most animals, because we can build machines to do it. I've dated so many women over the years, pretty women. I'm so crazy about it. Guys always ask me, how do you get a woman like that, man? I've always seen you with these fine girls. What happened? It's simple, man. I simply just go up and talk to her. If I see her, I like her, I just go and say hello. If you go up to a woman that is supposed to be pretty, you guys like to rate women 10. I never give no woman a 10. The only 10 women out there are the women who are stable with a family and have kids and is respectful and supports her man. That's a 10. Them other bitches ain't no 10. Might be 8.75, pushing 9. But even if she's a 10, and say you claim she's a 10, I've never met a woman who's a 10 that isn't a 5 inside. You got a lot of women who are 10s and they're 5 inside. Can't stand them. For every pretty woman you see, there's 10 guys who can't stand her. So, and the effort to talk to a woman is the same, whether she's ugly or pretty. They're the same people. The bottom line is, no matter how pretty she is, she got to lay down for somebody. So if I'm going to put out an effort to talk to a woman, I'm going to talk to the finest one I can. There are 2 things she can say, yes or no. Maybe means yes. Yeah, if I ask her, you want to hang out? She say maybe. I say, okay, what time do I pick you up? Because she didn't say no. It's open-ended, so I can set my time. Yeah. Yeah, come and pick you up later. Don't be late, goddammit. And since it's maybe I'll pay the bill. Maybe I won't. How about that, Miss Maybe? See, the thing about it is, people put too much pressure and stress on this whole alpha bullshit, beta bullshit, dating bullshit. It's all good, but let's not make it more than what it is. Right? People just like people. How about that? I've seen women, if this whole alpha beta thing was really true, I've seen women, pretty women, with some of the ugliest motherfuckers. But they had money. So what does that make them? Alpha dogs? Alpha cash? What? Come on, folks. We have to get real with this stuff and stop shifting the goalposts. How about just decent, respectable human beings? Anybody ever thought about that shit? Right? Anybody ever thought about that? Anybody ever thought about that instead of that social pecking out of bullshit game that they trying to shove down our throats? Huh? Just a decent, respectable person. Huh? And I've met women who weren't no 10s. They were like pushing 7.5. But guess what? They were 10 inside because they were nice and pleasant to be around. You see? Respectful, respectable. And when you leave, you feel healthy and you feel vibrant and charged because there's a good exchange. And I'm not talking sexual, just nice conversation. Pretty women are usually, I find that most of them to be stupid because they don't have to put out any and even get their vocabulary together because men are just rushing over them to talk to them. But they're breaking their neck over these women just because they're pretty by standard, But just because the woman win the genetic lottery, yeah, it does mean she's a pleasant and mature person to be around. And if you approach someone and try to be respectful and nice to them, and if that's not good enough, well, fuck her then. There are 5 or 7 billion people on the planet. Huh, who gives a fuck? What I get from dealing with women is like, I take what they say with a grain of salt. So the more of them you talk to, the better, because you're just learning how to communicate. And the better your communication skill is, the better you'll be able to communicate with people. So if you don't talk to people, how are you going to do it? You have to just get out there and say, hey, you know. And there's no such thing as rejection. Because when a woman rejects you, she's not rejecting you, she's rejecting herself. You don't have to fall down, feel like you're bad. You're the one that put out the effort. If you're communicating with someone, or if you're attempting to communicate with someone, and they're rude and disrespectful towards you, that doesn't say anything about you. Really, that says more about them than it is about you. If you're respectful, that is. I don't mean if you just call the woman a bitch, hey bitch, I want to talk to you. No, that's not what I'm talking about. If you respectful towards a person, and if you approach them properly, and they just brush you aside, that individual's first response says who they are. You see? It says more about them than it says about you. You're not especially if you're being respectful. You see? If you approach with respect, with manners, and you get a negative response, that's your first sign right there, isn't it? They're saying more about themselves than it says about you. And there's a little formula I go by. You could call it an affirmation or a formula. But I always say to myself, anything that I absolutely has to have, I don't need. No matter how pretty she is, how fine she look, I don't care. Anything that I absolutely has to have, I don't need. So fuck her. I don't want this video to go too long. But I'm gonna leave with a story my meditation teacher told me a while back. So we were discussing strength and power, and he was saying, well, when you're so bent on showing your strength, that's when you expose your weakness, which is true. So he told me about this one guy. His name was, we call him Big Jim. Big Jim was just a naturally cock-strong motherfucker. Brother who was just strong. And he said this guy was so strong that when he was 17, and he was strong at the time, full of muscle and everything, pushing 195, at 17. That's pretty strong. But he said that the guy could pick him up, grab him by his belt buckle, pick him up over his shoulder with one arm. That's how strong Big Jim was. So he said that there was this pretty girl in the town, that all the guys wanted. But Big Jim being so strong, he just bulldozed everybody and just take it over. It's like, I'm marrying you. The other guys, well, they're not going to say anything because, Big Jim is just the alpha man, right? He's the alpha dog, top dog. So he said Big Jim married a girl and they're living together. And then one day, Big Jim just disappeared. He just disappeared. He didn't see him anymore for like 5 years. And he said when Big Jim came back, he said, man, Big Jim, what happened to you? You just disappeared. You just left everything. Your wife's gone and you sold the house. What happened? And Big Jim proceeded to tell him what happened. Big Jim said that one day he went off to work, right? He was working in one of these factories. And then in the middle of the day, he came in with his stomach virus. And you know how a stomach virus is? That flu that just kicks your ass in the middle of the day, just drains your energy. So his foreman said, well, man, you should just go home. So he went home. So when he pulled into the garage, opened the door to his house, he heard this screaming coming from upstairs. So he went upstairs. No, he didn't went upstairs at first. He said he grabbed himself a crowbar and was about to go upstairs. But he decided, I'm going to tiptoe and go up. I'm not going to rush in. I'm going to sneak up. I am going to just crack this guy's head skull. Oh, dare he does it, do whatever he's doing and raping my pretty little wife. So he sneak up, take his time, went up the stairs. And he's like, oh, can't believe this shit. This screaming is coming from my room. So when realized the scream is coming from his room, he started having second thought. So he sneaked to the door of his room, slightly pushed the door open. What he saw horrified him. You know? What he saw horrified him. There was this short little guy. He was no more than about 5 feet 7 inches. But he was standing on 2 telephone book. You remember those yellow page telephone book? That's how short the motherfucker was. He was standing on 2 telephone book. But he had an enormously large penis. Enormously large dick. And he was standing on these 2 telephone book, standing behind his wife, stroking his wife down. And he said he had the crowbar in his hand and all the nerve and everything just drained away. All his power just drained away from his body. He just stood there looking in disbelief. His wife turned around, looked at him in the eye, saw him standing there, looked at him in the eye, and just went back to screaming. I shit you not. So I was like, holy shit. Master, what did he do? He just said, well, he did the right thing. He just quietly turned around, went downstairs, packed his bag, packed up some stuff, and left, and went to another town. That's how bad it was for him. Now, is that alpha enough or beta enough? What the fuck do you call that?